guys, it's Katsuyori Cats on Camera, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 authors that I've never read. Some of them will be ones that I'm interested in reading, some of them will be ones that I'm not, and all of them are ones that are popular on booktube. So, you know, thought it would be a bit of a fun video to do. So, the first one I'm going to be talking about is Marissa Mayer. Mayer. She's an author you've probably heard of. The what is it called? The Lunar Chronicles, the Renegades, if it's got another title of the series, I don't know, but the first one's Renegades, I do believe, book. And this is an author that I am interested in reading. I feel like both of these series are probably decent. It's just not something that I've ever specifically gone out of my way to try and find. If I ever saw them in a charity shop, I would definitely snap them up. But yeah, I feel like she's probably one of the most well-known on booktube, and I have not read her. Nope. The next one is J.K. Rowling. Yes, I've never read Harry Potter. I haven't read any of them. I saw all the films once. Wasn't a massive fan. I thought the first half of the films were terrible because the kids couldn't act and they were got because of how they looked and not because they actually knew how to act. But I digress. We're talking about the author right now, J.K. Rowling, and honestly this is a no for me. I don't have any interest in reading Harry Potter. I know everybody loves it. I'm just like, whatever. I know the story now because of watching the films. I don't really care for it. It's like too hyped for me that I know if I read it I'm just gonna be like, it's not the best book in the world. It's not worth buying 27 different versions of the same books because they keep bringing out different covers because you can't be asked to write a new book. You know, who needs to actually be an author when you can just keep re-releasing the same series over and over and over and over again? Moving on. The next one is Neal Shusterman. He did the Scythe series. Yes, that's how you pronounce that word, Scythe. And he is one that I'm kind of, yeah, I would read the Scythe series, I think. It seems like it might be fun. Again, if I found it in a charity shop for cheap, I would probably snap it up. But he's not somebody that I've purposefully gone out my way to try and find. I do have Scythe on one of my wish lists on Amazon, but it's just never gone down to cheap enough for me to warrant to buy it because of all the books I already own, and it's not like extremely in my mind that I want to read it. It's just kind of like, yeah, I'd probably read that. I'm not hyped for it or anything. But Neal Shusterman is one that I probably would read. Yeah. Next up we have Victoria Aveyard. And she is the author of the Red Queen series, which I feel like has mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people think it's just too painting by numbers, YA dystopian. I think it's a dystopian fantasy, whatever. And this is a no for me. I'm just, you know what, when it comes to royalty and the throne and stuff like that in a fantasy setting, it's not really something that I really am interested in. Obviously there are books that I've read and I enjoy, and books that are probably going to come out and I'll be like, that sounds really interesting. But in general I'm just like, don't really care, to be honest. And that's how I feel about this one. Next up we have Brandon Sanderson, and he is an author that I would like to read. Again, he's one that I've have on my wish list, but his books never go to cheap because they're really popular at the moment. So, you know, the Mistborn trilogy, I know it's like 6 books now, but they're still quite expensive, and I'm just like, you know what, no, not yet. But he definitely is an author that I'm interested in reading. If I ever found his books, I would buy them and read them. Fantasy, big fantasy books. Everyone seems to love Brandon Sanderson. I don't think I've ever heard somebody read his books and be like, nah, he's shit, isn't he? Everyone loves him. I'm sure it will be decent. The next one is Kiera Cass, who wrote the Selection series. Again, this is a no for me because of the whole, I don't really care about royals. I don't even know if it is a royal thing, to be honest. There's a bunch of girls, there's dresses, they're getting picked for something. Honestly, I don't really know much about what it's about, but just what I do know isn't really for me. I'm sure they're probably very fun to read, but not for me, I'm afraid. It is a nah. Next up, I have Laini Taylor, who is the author of the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, trilogy, dunno. It's an amount, 4 books, 7, who knows? 4 I think, or 3. And she's also the author of The Strange the Dreamer, which is also a series. But she is one that, yeah, I probably would read. I feel like Daughter of Smoke and Bone, you know? Probably would read that. Don't know what it's about at all. But if I found it for cheap, I would probably buy it and read it. There you go. Strange the Dreamer, I don't really know what it's about, but I saw the book and the cover around a lot and people seem to really like it, so who knows. Next I have Stephanie Perkins, who is the author of Anna and the French Kiss, Lola and the Boy Next Door, Jonathan and the Sack of Potatoes, I don't know. But she is a no for me. Honestly, I feel like I don't need to read them. I can just go and watch Melissa over at the Bookish Babblers rants about the books. I'm sure some people like them for reasons, but just watching Melissa's rants are enough for me. It's very funny and I don't feel I need to read these books. They don't really speak to me in any sort of way. They just seem kind of like chick litty, which is nothing wrong with, but in this version of this genre, don't really care for it. Never have. I've never thought of them books and thought, oh, I'll probably read them. Probably not going to read them, you know. It's fine. Next up I have Morgan Matson, who is the author of Amy and Roger's Epic Detour and Unexpected Everything. I also, I'm going to just throw in here, just going to do it 2 for 1, Casey West, who is the author of such things as P.S. I Like You and The Fill-In Boyfriend. I had to look at all of the titles for them because this is just all a big conglomerate of the same thing for me. It's all straight contemporary. It all feels like the same. I'm sure they have very different writing styles. I'm sure the books are decent, but it's just like, you know, it's all the same to me. But for some reason I feel like I would read Morgan Matson's things over Casey West. They just seem potentially more interesting. I don't know, it's all the same thing, innit? But that's, I don't know how I came to that idea. I'm sure they're all very fun to just read, really easy to read, cute, contemporary, fluffy. But you know, it's just all mixed together to me, it's all the same. And because I put those 2 together, I'm still counting this as 10, even though there's technically 11 because they're like the same, you know. And the last one is Libba Bray, who is the author of the Diviners series, the Gemma Doyle series, the Beauty Queens standalone. And she's an author that I probably would read. I feel like her things could potentially be interesting. I don't know, maybe. You know, if I found the whole set of the series at a charity shop for £1 each of the books, then you know, I'd probably buy it. There you go. So yeah, I stuck with popular authors there. I'm sure there's people watching this that will be like, oh, I haven't read them either. But I feel like these bunch are popular to a degree on BookTube. So yeah, let me know down below if you have read these or haven't, or if you think my opinions are just on which I would give a go and which I potentially wouldn't. Let me know down below. If this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, please check out some of my others, and if you continue to enjoy them, please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video.